Alright, so now we're going to do the collision, which I have been dreading for quite some time. So let's just start this off and end it quickly. Let's create a physics package and let's call it physics, right? Okay, I'm brain dead. And let's create a bounds class as well as a collision class as well as a collision type enum. God damn it, misspelled it. Collision type. Wow, I am really sacrificing sleep right now. And we're just gonna have a top, bottom, left, right, and none right there in the enums. In the collision, or actually, let's do the bounds class first, and we'll do, let's see, just do public rectangle bounds. If you don't know, a rectangle holds x, y, width, and height. All right, let's create a constructor where we will create a new rectangle for the bounds when we first create it. And I believe this is actually going to extend components. Wrong components. There we go. And then this is actually going to be an abstract class. I'm going to create an update method. And in this method, we will do bounds.setRectangle to the transforms screen position .x and the y. So I'm actually just going to do this to make it more readable. And the, what else? The scale and the, scale x and y. There we go. And then we're going to do a public list of collisions called find game objects in path vector 2f velocity. Now, if you want to see how this collision system works, too bad, because I really do not want to explain it. But I do believe let's do simple collision system Java. I believe I took the idea from a Stack Overflow thread right here. I think the let's see. That's not it. Simple collision detection. Anyways, the basics is that we are going to have a velocity and we're going to predict the path of the object. So if the object's velocity, if the object is currently to the left of the object, and then we do check if the position plus the velocity, so in other words, if the new position after it's moved is on the other side of the object to the right of it, or if it's in the object, then that's a collision. That's some great explanation from me. Alright, so let's do a list of collisions. Result equals to new array list. Create a rectangle 2D called predicted bounds. It's going to be equal to rectangle, a new rectangle. I'm going to pass in the bounds.x plus the velocity.x. As I said, the predicted collision. and then the width. There we go. And let's just make this a little more readable, just like that. And then let's iterate through each game object in the scene. And get game objects. Nope. Get game objects with components. There we go. I'm going to check if the game object with the component bounds, so if it has bounds. If it equals to this game object, then we're going to continue. If the predicted bounds dot intersects geo dot get component bounds dot class dot bounds, we're going to do result dot add a new collision. Going to pass in the transform game object and the game object, and then we are going to do return results. There we go. Now let's create the collision parameter or collision class. So we're just going to have a few attributes: public, final, collision type. Call it the type, public, final, game object, collider, and the origin. So the collider, so if we are moving the player and the player collides with the wall, then the collider would be the wall and the origin would be the player. So let's create the constructor. And pass in the origins constructor, the collider, and the origin of the collision. And then we are going to have this dot origin equals to origin, and then we are going to have a method down here called resolve collision, although that really should not be its name because that's not what it does. I'm going to pass in the original transform and the collider's transform. This dot type equals to resolve collision. Let's rename this to get collision type. And in here we'll do origin transform and collider transform. Okay, so down here we got some pretty cool and sick math, which took me a total of 10 minutes to make. So, oh fuck, I don't want to write this out. And we're bound to mess up. So float ox1 equals to o. I'm sorry guys, I'm not gonna explain it. It's just too much. Float ox2 equals to ox1 plus ot dot scale dot x. Let's see, ox1. Okay, yeah, that's right. Float oy1 equals to ot to get screen position dot y. Oh boy. OX1, OX2, OY1, OY2. That seems right. OY2. So now we're going to do CX1. that's equals to collider.get screen position x. cx2 is going to be cx1 plus ct.scale.x. cy1 is going to be ct.get screen position.x. And then cy2 is going to be cy1 plus ct.scale.y. Fun. Write all that out, guys. Then we're going to have a center x. Do that. Do that, and that. Hopefully I did not mess anything up. And then let's do some more stuff. Quarter 1. If you know trig, or I forgot what quarters are from in a, what is it, trigonometry or geometry, something like that. Anyways, we'll say if the O center x is smaller than C center x and the O center y, O center x is smaller than C center x and the O center y is greater than C center y. Check if OX2 minus CX1 OY2 minus CY1, turn bottom, alright, that is the first quarter. Quarter 2. Just enjoy the sound of me typing, because I do not want to explain this. If CX2, what? Yeah, I'm not going to explain it because even I'm a little lost. CX2 minus OX1 greater than OY2 minus CY1. Even though I coded this myself, still a little bit lost. Alright, yeah, make sure you do not mess up on any of the OX2, OX1, that stuff, because that will ruin the program. Alright, quarter 3, O center x is greater than C center x. And the O center y is greater than C center y. And quarter 4, finally. Goddamn, else if O center x is smaller than C center x and O center y is greater than C center y if the OX2 minus CX1 is greater than CY2 minus OY1. Return the top. Otherwise we are return the bottom. There we go. And by default return none, but it should never do that. Alright, looks all finished. So now, in the rigid body, we got to do the collision crap. Alright, so we'll do if the game object has the component bounds.class, then we are going to, oh god, this is a lot of code. I really do not want to write this, so, God. Sorry, I'm contemplating whether to just, like, post the code in the comments, but you know what, give me a second. Alright, so ha, I am just going to copy the code from GitHub, but I will not post it on GitHub because all these videos are going up at once, and I do not want to remember. So I'm just going to copy and paste that. Oh, god damn it. Gotta copy this. Crap. Is this repository public? If it is, you guys can access it. But I am not posting it in the what do you call it? The info down below the description, that's what it's called. Okay. Do that. Let's import the collision types, the collision class, and I will make you all write this code manually because I am just like that. So pause the video and do this right now. So let's see, it's going to be this code and this code. Have fun copying. Hee hee ha. Grr. Hee hee ha. Grr. Hee hee ha. Grr. Hee hee ha. Grr. Alright, so once you're done copying this code, which I am not doing it, hee hee ha, we should be all good except in the components class. Let's add a method right here. Public void on collision, pass in a collision. There. And now that's good. And now it works. Finally, easy peasy, right? God, I hope there aren't any errors. This is gonna be hell if I have to debug anything. Alright, so now if I go into the scene, why don't we, so let's see, this object falls, right? No, it does not. Oh, right, because we don't have a rigid body. There we go. Now it should fall. There we go. And let's add, let's actually, whoops, let's cut this code out. And let's put it in the init method. That way we don't have to press space to create the falling block. And yet it's not working. But why? Why, oh why do you do this to me? Why, oh why? Fudge. Let's keep the code there. It's 1:30 in the morning and I don't want to do anymore. So we'll do add game object to scene prefabs.generate, and this time we're going to have a test platform with a new vector2f, and we're just going to pass in, I don't know, 50, 50, I guess. And then here we'll do a new vector2f 30, no, let's do 16 by 400 for the size, and a new rectangular render, and we'll set this to blue, set that to true. I'll set the rigid body to 1, and it is not going to be falling. Thank God. There we go. Let's see this fail miserably. Yep. I've flipped this. Okay. This should be 32, and the Y should be 400. Yeah, it fell through. Oh, that's because I forgot to give it bounds. New bounds. Alright, bounds is an abstract class. Alright, let's add a rectangle, a box bounds. Yeah, so let's give it a box bounds component. So let's create a new Java class and then components package called box bounds. Thankfully, there is nothing in here except a constructor that does absolutely nothing. Why did I make it like that? Let's create a new, oh my god, new box bounds there. Such a useful method. Actually, it's gonna extend bounds. There we go. And then here we'll do new box bounds. No, new box bounds. Ah, it doesn't work. Why? Maybe this doesn't need a rigid body, does it? No, it does not, but it still did not fix the issue. Crap. Does the player need anything? I've got the rigid body, the physics 2D, the box bounds. Maybe this goes first. That shouldn't matter though. I'm gonna go die in pain and then come back to you if I have a solution. Alright, so it was something wrong in the resolve collision, or what was it before? The get collision type method. So let me copy this, paste it here. Now it should work. And you guys might be wondering, but Loraxio, what was the problem? I don't know. But, you know what? Beats me. What I can do... So, what I can do is I can run this. Okay, doesn't work. Let's copy this bottom portion right here. Has something to do, if it has something to do with the bottom portion of the code, then it should work. Which it doesn't, which means it's something here. So let's see what the problem is. The hell was the problem? Huh? Can you guys spot the difference? Come on, what changed? I'm not seeing any difference between the... Oh, I see it. I see it right here. CT dog gets screen position. This was X. It needed to be Y. Alright, now it works. Remember, make sure that this bit of code is copied down, like, exactly. Right? Because if it doesn't, then you can kiss collisions goodbye in your game. So that's the collision system done. Thank God I am done with this crap. 26 minutes of my life gone. So yeah, fun.